They're talking about taking corporate tax rate from 25% to up to 40%. 25 to 40%. I think it's actually lower than 25%. But that's, think about that. So you're corporate America. Maybe you're a small business owner with, 150 employees, and you happen to be a C Corp, not an S Corp, not a proprietorship, but a C Corp. You just happen to be a C Corp. And all of a sudden, let me throw this in. You're running on margins, you're working on margins of 4 or 5%, or maybe you're working on margins of 10 or 15%, okay? And you wake up January 1st and your accountant says, hey, by the way, just so you know, we've had a 40% tax rate. So for every dollar we make, we got to give 40 cents. Now listen, we got to give 40 cents to the federal government. 40 cents to the federal government. Now, I don't know what state you live in, but if you live in a state with a high state tax on corporate America, you got to pay your state tax. You might live in a local county or community where, by the way, there's another percentage. I want you to imagine for a moment that you could end up paying 55, 60% in taxes. So, when we look at those things, think about this. Now, I want to continue to put this in perspective. So we're going to pay that kind of corporate tax, all right? We're going to pay a state tax. We're going to pay maybe a local tax. Maybe you do business in France, or you're a small little winery in Southern California, and you're shipping wine to France, believe it or not. Well, France, we don't know. France drinks a lot of American wine. So we send it to France. Now you got to pay a tax on that there. Let me ask you, do you really believe in any stretch of the imagination that those kinds of companies are going to be able to stay in business? Do you believe that they're going to be in business? The Southern California winery, or the guy that's making the brake pads for GM, they're going to be able to stay in business? Now, wait a minute, let me just throw another scenario at you. Ireland has a 12.5% corporate tax rate. Just saying. Would you desire so much to stay in business that you would move your corporation to Ireland? I've been there. There's lots of office space over there. So now you're saying, hey, guess what? We're going to home base in Dublin. It's a 5.5, 6 hour flight from the East Coast, and that's where we're going to do business. You can move over there and work, or you can work from home here if you can, or you can go get another job. So now your 20% margin just went up to 30. And you might think that this isn't impacting the average American. It's not going to impact the average American. It's going to dramatically impact the average American. Dramatically impact the average American. So, if nothing else, I hope that you get a little bit of a broader picture of what could happen or what could be. Do you understand now, I hope, that it doesn't matter what tax bracket you're in? Well, I'm just a poor guy in the 12% tax bracket. I'm not making any money. I'm just barely, it's not going to impact me. It is going to impact you. Because you might have a job that's very important to you that is paying you $18 an hour, that you now have to find another job because that company that you work for is no longer in existence. That impacts you. You love that small community bank that you do your banking with. Guess what? It's going to be history. It's going to be gone. It's not going to be here. It's going to be gone. And you need to understand that if it's not you, it's going to be your friends, your family members, maybe the other breadwinner in your household is going to be severely impacted by that. Just saying. Hey, remember to click the subscribe button right here on the screen, and don't forget to hit the notification bell so you'll be notified when new content is added. And more importantly than anything, you don't want to miss all 3 live hours of Financial Issues every day from 9 to noon. And you can watch it on FISM.tv. That's FISM.tv.